Hold on. Check.
Ivan, that
Right.
cat
Sorry, mate. I can't hear anything. Give me just 1 second.
Okay.
Yep. Sorry.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit choppy though.
Yeah. Let me just move the mic a bit closer. Well, I mean, it's on the laptop, so not much of a mic in here. But anyway, just pop the video as well. There we go.
There he is.
Oh,
Good
yeah.
to see you.
Yeah. Likewise, mate. How's it going?
Yeah, it's going all right, man. Going all right. Just revamping the website. Let's move that Apple core out of the way. It doesn't look very good, does it?
I know the feeling. I know the feeling. 5 minutes before the meeting, always move uh the unnecessary stuff out of the way.
The unprofessional stuff.
Yeah. Right.
Well, mate, I really appreciate you putting the time aside to jump on this call. For people that are potentially going to watch this video in the future, I just want to quickly introduce you, Ivan. So you're actually one of the earlier members to the program. And well, why didn't you introduce yourself?
Right. So I'm not too good at introductions, but I'll do my best.
I can help you.
So my name is Ivan. I'm an automation and controls engineer in a kitchen company based in the UK. And I have been taking Chris' course on control panels and automation as part of my job, as part of my training for the job, in order to expand the skill set that I have, being pretty new to the industry and to the not just to the industry but to the larger field, so to speak.
Yeah.
Being fresh out of the university.
Yeah, that was what I was interested in understanding. Where in terms of introducing yourself, where like what's your background before we get to the program? What's your background, Ivan? Where were you before the program?
So before the program, I studied electrical and electronic engineering at the University of Bristol. So got managed to get a master's degree,
Yeah,
and got employed here at the company for the automation role,
yeah,
and that is pretty much it. Yeah.
yeah. Cool. Because what it was is like Alan, your manager. It was actually him that found like the program initially and saw me on social media, and I'll have to have a conversation with Alan actually. Oh yeah, I'll organize that another time.
He's a very busy man. Yeah, but good
Yeah,
luck.
yeah, I know he is. Um, so it was kind of Alan that I spoke to initially, and the initial conversation with Alan was like they're taking someone on you, or they have taken someone on, and the problem that they had is they wanted you to ultimately manage the project delivery from start to finish. Would that be fair to say?
Absolutely, yes. That's correct.
Yeah. So so like yeah, so some of my line of questioning probably wouldn't be completely relevant because it was kind of like it was partly Alan's decision. Um, but what would you say what would you say with that, like before the program, with like being able to deliver a project, where would you say your confidence was and capabilities were like before the program if you had to deliver a complete project?
So I would say that at the very basic level, the capabilities were there. So obviously the degree didn't go to waste, and I had some previous tinkering with electronics, which helped on a very basic level, as in the actual panel building and making it actually work wasn't an issue. So, but at the end of the day, on the other hand, the confidence wasn't too much I wasn't feeling too confident, mainly because I try my best to understand my own drawbacks. And this was a major one because I had the basic understanding of what I need to do, but I did not have experience. And I did not have um, some specific industry specific and field specific knowledge that I needed to make this work better.
Yeah.
And well, to basically make good automation panels and decisions, not just okay ones.
Okay, mate. And that's really interesting. So you mentioned experience back then, a second ago. And this is something that I like talking to people about, like experience. And I think people get hung up on the term experience and they think it's like time served within the industry that's gonna mean that they're capable of doing something. And I try and talk to people and I try and explain to them that it's not necessarily time served that means you have experience. Like if you've got knowledge, understanding in something, like you could say, "Oh, you're experienced in that," and you can deliver on that, you know. So would you say then, yeah, without putting words in your mouth, mate, but like your experience, because your experience back then probably wasn't, you weren't able to deliver a project back then on your own. But would you say, and I'm skipping ahead a little bit, I don't want to go too off route, but like your experience now, then would you say, and you have obviously done some projects as well, which is obviously added to your experience, but before you did the project delivery, like just the experience that you gained through the program, would you say that's helped you deliver projects ultimately?
Uh, it did, although not in not in the most direct way, so to speak. A lot of the program was generally around. I wouldn't say it's a drawback. It definitely wasn't in my case, but you know, it's feedback, and I will be honest. um, so the basically 99% of the program is about panel building, because that's what I've taken, and about with some parts of extractive business sprinkled in as well. And I still hear people talking about it in the automation school board. So it did build my confidence in a way that um, it it did give me a skill set, and you're absolutely right in that when you say experience, it's not just the time served. You can serve, you can work dozens of years and still not learn anything. But this is what gave me the confidence and the knowledge to actually see projects through, which is what I'm basically doing now. So I wouldn't say it's given me a lot of project related management skills, but then again, that's not what the program is about, is it? But I will say that it did give me a boost in terms of that. It's given me confidence to and pride in what I do, and that is, at least for me, is a major part of seeing the project through until the end.
Yeah, I suppose I wasn't clear in what I meant by project delivery is taking a project from the start, through the process of, specifying, designing, documenting, panel building, and then like testing before it goes out to site.
I see, I see.
That's kind of what I meant by project delivery. So did Alan sort of take you on initially then to do the project delivery?
Yeah, so Alan self-taught, and the aim of this entire program was and actually, yeah, let's just move in a bit of a linear time question. So Alan was self-taught. He was doing this before I was hired. And once I was, he taught me the very basics again. So it was really just, he just taught me the panel building, very basic aspect again. So, and this combined with my electronics understanding from a master's degree was what I worked. And his aim was, again, I'm probably running a bit ahead here, but for this project, for the course, the aim we was trying to achieve is basically get that knowledge that he didn't have, and for me to be an actual professional with knowledge, and
Okay.
then for him to and as you rightly said in the beginning, for him to basically like sort of disconnect from the counter aspect, and for me to sort of play my own sandbox with him just basically.
Right. Okay. Yeah. And so, how does Alan feel now then? Like after the program, and what you're doing now?
He's very happy. I will say that. We had sort of meeting minutes, and we'll obviously touched on the topic of training. What I've heard and what I completely agree with him on in much most of what he says is that it's been a great experience. The quality has risen across the board effectively, and I have seen that from the customers as well, I have to say. So even though, well, it's just that the panels are better. We have less complaints from, I wouldn't say complaints, but less notes from the installers, from the electrical installers of these panels, because we don't really install it. Yeah.
Questions.
We
Yeah.
basically have much less doubts about our panels, like what goes where after I've done training with this.
Okay. And
And
sorry, mate. Yeah. Carry on. Carry on.
yeah,
Sorry.
and the schematic diagrams probably a major part that's changed. The schematics were obviously haven't enough compared to what we did before, which again was basically just it wasn't anything sort of professional. So this was a large step up, and again with the schematics, we have much less questions about what they plan. And I'm happy about it because I don't have to spend time answering questions on things that I've already made. Alan's happy about it because it's obviously less work for him, it's less work for me. So he is pleased pretty much, with the outcome of this reforce, and he thinks it's well, I mean, his aim is to obviously get higher up the ladder as well, to get some further training, possibly in electrics with all that jazz. But yeah, he thinks it was a great sort of first step for me, anyway. So do I.
Okay. Sorry, mate. Just for me to summarize what you just said, because there's a little bit of a bad line.
Yeah, sorry.
That's all right. But what with what you just said then, like you've been able to like create clear and concise documentation, like schematics and stuff. You said that you weren't necessarily doing that beforehand. The panels are built to those schematics designs, and there's less questions coming back now with the panels, which is basically making life easier for you and Alan as well. You know, there's less back and forth, and you can, because a lot of what you do, there's a lot of like the systems that you do, you're kind of they're not too custom. A lot of them are quite similar. Is that right?
Uh, it's a mix. Sorry, I just can't answer that too shortly, so to speak, because
Okay.
yeah, it
So
is a mix, but a lot of them are.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
there, I think that when we worked earlier, at the start of this, like they were quite similar, the panels, but maybe, you know, there's been some differences. You've gone, you're doing more custom panels now. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
So for you then, mate, like in terms of your your like how does it feel for you? Like let's remove Alan for the time being. Like for you, where how do you feel like it's impacted you, you know, from before the program and then sort of where you're at now?
I'm feeling much more confident. That's probably the best. I wouldn't say even the best. The most the largest factor that's
Okay.
changed. I've gained knowledge, and with it, I've gained confidence that in what we do, both in panels and in their documentation. Again, yes. So I can now stay confident that I'm making quality products with quality documentation for them and providing a complete package up to the standard, which is a huge motivator to me because I take pride in what I do and I want to do best at it.
Yeah, cool. And if you had to pick like one thing out of the program that you would say helped you the most, what specific thing in the program would you say that was?
You mean like a topic or
Yeah. Just anything within the program that you feel has made the biggest difference for you personally.
me personally, it's the live sessions and well, we've touched on a lot of things in live sessions, mostly with schematics, but as we had it for our discussions, where I come back with questions regarding recording material that panel goes in. I much prefer studying live, even if it's just over the wire. It just gives me a sense of I wouldn't say belonging, but it's just different rather than just watching videos.
Yeah.
It made me confident to ask questions, which at the end of the day enhanced my learning experience and made the program made the end result better. So I'm feeling grateful for that.
I'm pleased to hear it, mate. Yeah, so it was the live sessions that we did, like focusing on the design stuff and the schematic stuff that like was your biggest takeaway that gave you like
Absolutely, yes, I would say that, yes.
cool. All right, mate. Well, thank you again, Ivan, for your time. Really appreciate it, mate. And yeah, I'll have to catch up with Alan and try and corner him to jump on a call with me like this. But I'm pleased it's helped you guys.
All right, yeah, likewise. Thank you very much for your time today and for your time in February, March, and April, I think it was.
Yeah.
It really helped us a lot, and I mean, I'm not sure about Alan, but I feel incredibly grateful to it. So, thank
I
you very much.
appreciate it. Thanks, Ivan. Thank you, mate. Take it easy, bud.
Cheers. Bye.
Cheers. Bye bye.